Thank you very much. It is a great honor for the Koki to join the program. And I think I would just like to tell a few words about the Institute. This was the old picture, because initially the Institute was founded in 1952, belonged to the Hungarian Academy of Sciences, and this was the country's first full-time medical research institute. And over the years, it has continuously transformed towards the neuroscience field and essentially become a neuroscience research institute. These days, you can find multiple fields of neuroscience represented in the Koki, but also there are very strong links with the past of those distinguished scientists who had contributed to the neuroscience field in Hungary. Basically, the structure of the Koki is very simple, and the Koki is relatively small, especially compared to large universities. I would just like to point out two things here on the organogram of the Koki. The first thing is that we have research groups as individual units. So we have kind of the directorate, and then a lot of individual research groups who basically determine their research directions, collaborate with each other, and try to get their own funding, also supported by core funding of the Institute. The second thing I would like to point out is the core research facilities, which are maintained and constantly developed by the Institute. And for especially a small group of people with very high demand in technologies, it's extremely important to constantly update these research centers, because it would be very difficult for a single research group to buy the latest technologies and very pricey equipments. But after you join forces, you can really develop towards getting the best technologies and also finding the people to run these facilities, making eventually research more efficient and timely. Just to look at the research groups, the 90 research groups you can see presently from many areas of neuroscience. I would also like to mention that from cell biology through translational research, behavioral research, neuroimmunology, cerebral cortex research, reproduction research. We also have interest in fields which are not that strictly related to neuroscience and actually use technologies or knowledge from other fields of science, such as mathematics, biophysics, molecular biology, or immunology, which is also something we are very specific about, because the body is extremely complex, and to understand how the brain works, you have to understand how larger systems, such as the immune system or the brain, can interact. The main objectives of the Institute include pursuing internationally recognized cutting-edge research. And as you can see, the Institute today, the Institute is really playing a leading role in neuroscience, recognized beyond the boundaries. And as such, the Institute is really keen to promote the clinical and economic exploitation of the results. And the main tasks along these lines concern basic and translational research in several fields of neuroscience to basically understand better how generally the brain works, to promote the protection of human health, to facilitate the treatment of nervous system disorders. And we are moving more and more towards understanding how basic research findings could be translated into clinical benefit. And also, we are very keen to constantly develop our technological repertoire in all areas of brain research. Now, as a result, we managed to publish in some of the leading journals over the past 10 years or more. And I want to make the point that these are not the only journals which are important, and certainly not only those discoveries which are published in top journals are the most important discoveries. And I think Nobel Prizes give you a really good example to this. But you have to be aware that to be recognized widely by the broad scientific audience, even beyond neuroscience, you really need to target some of these big journals because otherwise, especially by researchers working in a small country, it's not always easy to make these research results visible. And another thing is basically funding success. And I think the Institute, compared to its small size, has been relatively successful in recruiting money from different countries. And I would just like to mention these excellent grants, the European Research Council grants, from which scheme we had 2 starting, 4 consolidated, and 4 advanced grants over the past 10 years. In addition, we were relatively successful in recruiting NIH grants, Harvard Hughes grants, and also Hungarian Excellence Program grants like the Vendég and the Élvonal, which are also allowing us to bring in money and develop constantly our technological repertoire, making eventually research more efficient. Certainly the Institute has a number of links with universities and industry partners, and I'm just showing the Hungarian ones here and some examples, but basically we have a very good relationship with the Semmelweis University, and the Koki and the Semmelweis run a joint neuroscience PhD school, but also we have very intense interactions with Pázmány Péter Catholic University and the Felsőoktatás University, and we are very hopeful that we will be able to recruit students also from there in the coming years. And certainly we are participating in training of undergraduate students, PhD students, and also run courses and act as supervisors. In addition, we also find it very important to look beyond basic research, and we have also strong links with industry, including Richter Gedeon, Immunogenes, Femtonics, and many other companies, which is also a very good resource for clinically relevant thinking and technologies. If you are working in the Koki as a student, you can expect that your work might turn into some recognitions early on, as shown by a number of prizes our students recruited and were awarded over the last few years. I would just like to mention the relative success in the national research competitions and also prizes like the Junior Prima, which we basically were awarded 11 times between 2007 and 2021. And finally, I would just like to tell you 3 reasons why it might be good to come to the Koki. First, there is opportunity here to contribute to excellent research in the field of neuroscience. Second, I think the Institute is a really good resource for state-of-the-art technologies, and these are constantly being updated and developed, which appear to be even more and more important for great science as earlier, because our limitations are very often technological in nature. So we really have to keep an eye on developing these technologies. You have to recruit money to do this, and you have to have very good links with internationally leading scientists to bring in ideas and knowledge. And finally, we were very gifted with great mentors. And also I just want to point out that we had 2 of our directors, Tamás Freund and Szilveszter Evizi, who become also the presidents of the Hungarian Academy of Sciences. And Tamás is also awardee of the Brain Prize and the head of the Hungarian Brain Research Program. And I think having good mentors and having people who are dedicated to science and also have a broad international recognition is essential to recreate knowledge and have some vision, because without vision you wouldn't be able to progress and see exactly which research areas are important to pursue. With this, I would like to thank for your attention, and again, the Koki is extremely happy to have joined this research program, and we really welcome you in the Institute. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ádám, this fascinating presentation. I wish I were a student currently, and I was so proud that I also did some research at Koki before it became to be neuroscience, and gastroenterology was still allowed to go in. However, now I would like to ask the András Varroy again, our chairman, to provide you the certificate, and we are really honored that your institution is with us.